Hey, Kyle. Just so you know, I'm getting married. I figured I should tell my brother.
Pardon me? Married? Why all of a sudden?
You know I've been going out with that doctor for some time, right? I wasn't even going to introduce you, but you had to show up at the restaurant. That was so embarrassing. That's the guy I'm marrying.
Oh, that guy, huh? The kind of serious-looking young guy? Wasn't his name Brandon or something like that?
Yeah, that's right.
I see. Well, thanks for telling me, and congratulations. I bet you're gonna get pretty busy preparing for the wedding and all.
Yeah, about that. You don't need to get involved in any of it, just so you know.
Excuse me? Yeah, well, preparations are usually done by the people getting married, so I've no intention of getting involved in any of that.
Yeah, not only that. You don't have to come to the wedding ceremony either.
Are you being serious? If you don't invite me, no other relative will be there. You okay with that?
No problem there. I'm inviting my parents, so no need for you to be there.
Parents, what are you... Wait, don't tell me.
That's right, my parents. The ones I was forcibly separated from when I was only 6 years old. Because of you. They heard from someone that I was getting married and came a long way just to see me.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there, Cindy. I know these people. They have no interest in you. They're only after Brandon's money. I'm sure of it. They will suck you dry.
But that's just your opinion. It all seems so one-sided.
You don't realize what kind of fraudsters they are. I told you about them hundreds of times. Don't you remember all that?
Yeah, but once I met them, they were so nice to me. They were tearful just seeing how much I'd grown up and matured. I bet you anything that after living apart for so long, they realized how they treated us and felt remorse.
That's how they play this game, Cindy. Don't you see? They're stringing you along, earning your trust until they get a hold of the money. It's all part of their master plan, and you're in the midst of it. When they come snooping around again, just be on guard. Don't obey their every request. Keep a distance and never trust them. You got that?
Do I really have to be satisfied with a high school dropout of a brother as a family? At least I have real parents. Some people don't even have that.
Please, don't be like that, Cindy.
Anyway, even if they were solely after his money, he's the son of a local doctor. He'll just take over the clinic one day. It's not as if he's some world-renowned heart specialist or anything. But the clinic does bring in a considerable amount, I suppose. And we could expand in the future. Even if they do milk us for some cash, we won't go bankrupt anytime soon. We're not that poor. We're on a completely different level from you, Kyle. Don't compare us to a high school dropout factory worker.
How could you say that? Do you really think I wanted to drop out of high school? I was an honor student. I had my eyes on college, but I had to escape that household and save you.
You make it sound as if you rescued me and took me far away. All we did was drive a few hours to Grandpa's place. At least we had a place to live. You really should have asked to finish high school. Grandpa was still alive by the time you started working at the factory. If you really wanted to, you could have finished school, no problem.
Grandpa wasn't exactly well off. He just barely supported himself, much less two grown kids. Cindy, this is final. Don't ever trust these guys. They will end up breaking your heart. Mark my words.
Excuse me?
I never told you this, Cindy. I thought it might leave you traumatized, but the reason I took you and escaped was because they were planning to sell you off to some guy to wipe their debt clean. You were only 6 years old at the time. I couldn't let that happen.
Are you serious?
It was only complete chance that I heard about their malicious intent. And that's when I contacted Grandpa for help.
Who was this guy I was supposedly being sold to?
All I can say is that if I hadn't taken you away, you wouldn't be here today. God knows where you would have ended up. I was only 15 at the time, just starting high school. Grandpa never complained and made all the arrangements to take custody of us. I heard he also got legal advice from the people down at Child Services. It took some time and effort, but he was finally able to take legal custody of us. One of the conditions was that I quit school and start making a living by working at this factory.
What a cock and bull story. Mom and Dad were super nice to me. They would never do such a thing. You're delusional, Kyle.
You're not gonna believe me, is that it? After all I've done for you.
Back to what we were talking about earlier. I'm going to invite Mom and Dad to the wedding. And I don't want you there. End of story. The wedding guests are all Brandon's friends and relatives. If you show up, a high school dropout, it'll be a catastrophe. Mom and Dad both finished high school, so no real problem there. It's just so embarrassing to have a high school dropout of a brother attend. You can understand that, right? Also, you don't have to show up when both of our parents meet for the first time, just as folks in mine. Just so you're aware, I told Brandon that my brother may disrupt the wedding because he's so incensed that you're a successful doctor. I warned him to be on the lookout for you.
You would go that far to keep me away, huh? Alright, Cindy. Have it your way. Just don't come crying to me later.
I never want to hear you say we're family ever again!
Right. That's your desire. I have nothing more to say. As for me, I don't want to be anywhere near those grifters.
Hey, Kyle. What's up, bro? Today's a big day. Finally getting married.
Yeah, right. I forgot all about it. Today was the day. Huh. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks.
What is it? Did you change your mind? You want me there after all?
Don't worry about that. No chance of that happening.
Well, that's a relief.
Come on, Kyle. Don't give me that. I bet you wish you were here.
No, that hasn't changed one bit. But after your rejection, I got to thinking. You're a grown woman now, and Brandon's not some kid. He's a doctor after all. Figured you guys can handle it. You guys can take responsibility for your own actions. No need for me to interfere. You know what? I decided to just think about my future and my own happiness going forward.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But I take it you have zero intention of crashing this wedding. I have your word, right?
Of course, I had no intention of crashing any party.
Well, that's a relief.
You done? I just got off the late shift. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Nighty-night.
See ya.
Kyle, wake up! You have to help me. Kyle, please pick up! My wedding dress! What am I going to do? I have the dress order made! It's cost in excess of $10,000! They made off with the dress and all the rented jewelry! That necklace used real diamonds! They took everything of value! How could this happen? Please, Kyle! Please respond!
What the hell is this?
Oh, Kyle, finally! Where have you been, for God's sake?
I was sleeping. I told you I just finished my shift. I didn't want to be interrupted, so I turned the phone off.
Your sister is in trouble and you're sleeping? Are you out of your mind?
How was I supposed to know what's happening? Besides, it has nothing to do with me. So, you catch the thieves?
Excuse me?
Wasn't that a line message this afternoon about some robbery at the wedding?
Yeah, right. It was a robbery, but it's more than that. It's about... How should I put this?
The hell are you trying to say? Is this some kind of prank?
The people who took the dress and all the jewelry... It was Mom and Dad!
Oh, wait. Back up, would you? You're saying it was those two?
Yeah, Mom and Dad. They came into the dressing room while I was getting ready. They stuffed everything into a big sack and took off.
Well, I definitely saw this coming.
How could my mother and father do this to their own daughter? When I met them, they were super nice. They got all misty-eyed when they saw how happy I was.
I told you that's how they got on your good side. Play to your emotions, the oldest con in the book. They keep this charade up, built your trust, and when the time comes, they pounce. How many times have I warned you, don't ever trust them? When they approach, always be super vigilant.
What's the use of telling me that now? What the hell am I going to do? They stole everything. I have nothing. My wedding is a total disaster.
Does that mean the wedding was canceled?
Not only that, the whole wedding, the whole marriage is finished.
What do you mean?
Brandon's parents said they don't want their son marrying someone brought up by thieves. So the whole thing was called off. The wedding, the engagement.
Probably know the answer to this, but here goes. Who's gonna pay for that order-made wedding dress?
Well, that... Brandon paid for the whole wedding.
Did you call the police?
Yeah, Brandon called them right away.
Okay, got it. So everything has been taken care of. I don't see what I can do.
Hold it. What? What do you mean by that? You're my brother! Your little sister is in trouble! And that's your response? And this is something our parents did. You're responsible too!
Hey, Cindy, have you already forgotten what you said?
Huh? Forget what?
You said you never wanted to hear that we are family ever again. You do remember that, right? That means we're not family, not brother and sister. No relation. That's what you wanted and I agreed. I have no obligation to help you, Cindy.
We don't have time to be arguing about this BS!
And what's more, I'm not part of your family anymore.
What are you talking about?
I told you some time back that I was dating the daughter of the factory owner. I married her recently and became a part of her family. I dropped my name and took hers. I'm part of their family now.
Pardon me, you're not...
It means I'm not part of their family. We all live together at her father's place.
I don't understand any of this. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Why do I even have to report to you? You're not even family. I have no obligation to you. You're a stranger.
But Kyle, I was...
Now that you know, hope you'll respect my wishes and not contact our family anymore.
Come on, Kyle. Your sister's in trouble. Help me out, would you?
You're the one who said you'd rather have your real parents than a high school dropout factory worker. Remember that? You're the one that ignored my warnings and invited those fraudsters into your life. I warned you 100 times never to trust those scoundrels. You're the one that wanted nothing to do with me. I wasn't in your league, you said. I was an embarrassment.
Please, Kyle, don't be like that.
You got yourself into this mess. Figure it out for yourself. My days of being your brother are over.
Please, Kyle, forgive me.
I'm sorry to say this, Cindy, but you no longer have a brother.
Please, you can't abandon me.
We better cut this short. We're getting ready to leave on holiday with the family. We won't be back for about a week. Goodbye, Cindy. Have a happy life.
Kyle, you can't do this to me.
I was told later that my parents were eventually tracked down by the police. Apparently, they were trying to hawk the jewelry that they stole to a pawn shop downtown. Wasn't long before they were sentenced to prison. As for the wedding dress, that was sold immediately. Seems there was a buyer all set up. That money was long gone. Obviously, the wedding could not continue and it was canceled. And as Cindy said, the marriage itself was terminated. My sister's just an average office worker with an average monthly salary. Highly unlikely that she could pay off the debt that she managed to create. But as she had invited many of her co-workers to the wedding, and who later learned that her parents were the culprits in this heist, she was too ashamed to continue working there. After a couple months, she was forced to resign out of humiliation. Friends told me she's currently working some part-time job downtown, apparently keeping a low profile. A lot has happened over the years, but I decided that what's important is my current family. I plan to focus on my own happiness going forward.